Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's wedding is already being treated like the pop culture equivalent of a royal event, and now another famous name has stepped into the conversation in a big way. Robert Irwin, yes, Steve Irwin's son and the face of Australia Zoo, is publicly campaigning to host the entire thing at his family's wildlife park, and the best part, he's still waiting to hear back. So, let's get into exactly what Robert offered, why Australia Zoo is suddenly part of the Travis and Taylor wedding conversation, and what we actually know so far about when and where this hugely anticipated ceremony might happen. Robert Irwin has been doing what he does best lately, promoting wildlife conservation, representing Australia Zoo, and popping up on TV and radio shows with his usual upbeat energy. On a recent appearance on the Australian radio program The Smallzy Show, the topic switched from animals and television to something very different: Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's wedding. Robert revealed that he has already put his offer out there. He wants Taylor and Travis to get married at Australia Zoo, and he's more than ready to roll out the red carpet for them. When the host asked if Taylor had responded to this invitation, Robert laughed and admitted that so far there's been no answer. He made it clear, though, that he's not giving up hope. The way he phrased it, the key words were "not yet." No reply doesn't mean no forever, at least in his mind. You can tell he's having fun with it, but there's also a genuinely enthusiastic pitch behind the jokes. Robert took a moment to explain that weddings at the zoo are actually a real, popular thing they do. He leaned into the humor, joking about how nothing says romance quite like declaring your vows in front of apex predators and crocodiles. It's that classic Irwin mix of charm and wildlife passion, playful on the surface but backed up by real experience hosting big events at the zoo. From there, he shifted into full wedding planner mode. Robert started describing what a ceremony at Australia Zoo could look like for someone like Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. He highlighted one of the zoo's most stunning wedding locations, a beautiful vantage point overlooking an open African savanna exhibit. Imagine this for a second, a wedding set against a backdrop where rhinos and giraffes are moving freely in the distance, the landscape open and scenic, while the couple stands in front of their guests saying their vows. According to Robert, this is already one of the zoo's most in-demand wedding spots, and he clearly thinks it would be a perfect fit for such a high-profile couple. He talked about how many couples have already chosen Australia Zoo for their big day and emphasized how special it looks and feels when the ceremony is framed by the wildlife and the landscape. In his view, taking one of the most talked-about weddings in the world and turning it into an Australian wedding at the zoo would make it truly unforgettable. He sounded genuinely proud of what the zoo offers, not just as a tourist attraction, but as a place where important life moments can happen. And then he did what anyone savvy enough to understand this media moment would do. He addressed Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce directly. In his closing pitch, Robert essentially said to them, "Reach out, I've got everything covered for you." It was confident, lighthearted, and very on brand for him. That clip alone was enough to grab headlines worldwide. Suddenly, the combination of Taylor Swift wedding, Travis Kelce, and Australia Zoo was all over entertainment and gossip news. Of course, right now, this is still just an open invitation. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce have not responded publicly. They haven't accepted, declined, or even acknowledged Robert's offer in any official way. But the fact that he's willing to open the gates of one of the most famous zoos on the planet for their wedding shows just how big their engagement is, even far from the NFL and music worlds. To understand why this idea has captured so much attention, you have to look at how massive this relationship has become. Taylor Swift is already one of the most recognizable names in the world, and Travis Kelce is not just any athlete, he's a Super Bowl winning NFL star. Together, they've turned every appearance into an event. Their engagement announcement on August 26, 2025, instantly dominated news cycles, trending across social media and being dissected the same way royal engagements usually are. Now, their wedding plans are being followed with that same near-obsessive level of interest. According to multiple sources quoted by Page 6, the couple is reportedly aiming for a wedding date of Saturday, June 13th, 2026. That date didn't come out of nowhere. For longtime Taylor fans, the number 13 has always been significant. She's openly called it her favorite number for years. It's shown up on her hand during concerts in the past, in album discussions, in Easter eggs, so choosing a date that lands on the 13th would be completely in character for her. If those sources are correct, and Taylor and Travis are planning to say "I do" on June 13, 2026, that gives a little bit of structure to the conversation. Fans now have a rumored wedding day, but what they don't have is a location, and that's where all the guessing, theories, and speculations really start to multiply. So far, there has been no official confirmation of where this wedding will take place. No confirmed venue, no official city, no country, nothing. All we have right now are unconfirmed whispers and wide-open possibilities. Will they keep it close to home in the United States? Will they choose a European castle, a remote island, or a family property for extra privacy? Or will they do something completely unexpected, like flying halfway across the world for an Australian wedding at a zoo? Robert Irwin's invitation slides perfectly into that vacuum of information. It gives people something fun and specific to imagine. Picture the scene: Taylor Swift walking down an aisle in a breathtaking outdoor setting, giraffes and rhinos in the backdrop, Travis Kelce waiting for her under the Australian sun, the Irwin family making sure every animal and every camera is in the right place. It sounds almost unreal, but that's exactly why people keep talking about it. Part of what makes this so appealing for fans is who Robert Irwin is. At 22, he's not just Steve Irwin's son anymore, even though that connection will always mean a lot to people who grew up watching The Crocodile Hunter. Robert has shaped his own public image as a conservationist, television personality, and now a familiar name in entertainment. He's appeared on Dancing with the Stars, he regularly features in media segments, and has taken on a leading role in managing and promoting Australia Zoo alongside his family. For him to reach out like this feels genuine and aligned with everything he's about. He's proud of the zoo. He's proud of Australia. He wants to bring global attention not just to celebrities, but to wildlife and conservation. Hosting the wedding of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce at Australia Zoo would do all of that in one huge global moment. It would combine pop culture, sport, conservation, and Australian tourism in a way that almost no other event could.
From a planning perspective, it's also easy to see why a place like Australia Zoo might appeal to any high-profile couple, even beyond the novelty. The venue is on private land, away from city streets and paparazzi hiding in every corner. Security can be tightly controlled, the guest list can be carefully managed, and visually, it offers a unique environment that doesn't look like every other luxury resort or ballroom that celebrities typically choose. At the same time, Taylor and Travis are in a position where they could choose literally any location in the world. Castles, vineyards, private islands, historic estates, nothing is off the table for them. That's part of why their actual plans are so fascinating. Everyone wants to know, will they lean into something traditional and regal, like a modern-day royal couple, or will they choose something adventurous and unconventional, the way Robert Irwin is suggesting? What we do know for sure is that up to now, they've kept the details extremely private. No matter how many sources close to the couple speak to outlets like Page Six or other tabloids, neither Swift nor Kelce has gone on record naming a venue or confirming the rumored date. That level of secrecy only makes every new comment from the outside world, like Robert's zoo invitation, feel more significant and more fun to dissect. It's worth pointing out how quickly his comments have spread. A single radio interview in Australia, a light-hearted joke about crocodiles and apex predators at a wedding, a heartfelt description of a Savannah View ceremony, and then a direct little hit-me-up aimed at Taylor and Travis. That's all it took to cross over into global entertainment coverage. Within days, it wasn't just Australian listeners who knew about it. Fans around the world were seeing headlines about Robert Irwin inviting Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce to marry at Australia Zoo. It also says a lot about how large this wedding looms in the public imagination. Most celebrity couples announce an engagement, pick a venue, get married, and it's a big headline for a day or two. But with Taylor and Travis, every small detail is examined the way people have obsessed over royal weddings and royal family announcements in the past. From the reported date connected to the number 13, to the question of whether it will be a church, a beach, a country estate, or now possibly a zoo, every option is treated like a major story. For Robert Irwin, even if this doesn't ultimately lead to Taylor and Travis tying the knot at his family's zoo, it has still shined a spotlight on the work he's doing and the venue he loves. People who might never have thought about weddings at Australia Zoo were suddenly aware that it's even a possibility. They've heard about the African Savannah lookout, the rhinos and giraffes in the distance, and the concept of saying your vows with wildlife roaming nearby instead of a ballroom chandelier in sight. For Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, the speculation isn't likely to slow down anytime soon. Until they release official details, every new interview, every rumor about a date or location, and every invitation like Robert's will keep feeding the fascination. And because they've chosen to keep their actual wedding plans private for now, that aura of mystery only adds to the sense that this is one of the most anticipated weddings in recent pop culture memory. Right now, the facts are simple. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce got engaged on August 26, 2025. Multiple reports suggest they are looking at Saturday, June 13, 2026 as their wedding date, a date deeply tied to Taylor's favorite number, 13. No venue has been confirmed. No official statement has been released about where they'll host their ceremony. Robert Irwin has publicly and enthusiastically invited them to hold the wedding at Australia Zoo, painting a vivid picture of what that could look like, and he's still waiting on an answer. Whether they end up in Australia surrounded by wildlife, in a private chapel somewhere in the US, in a European villa, or in a completely secret location no one has guessed yet, one thing is already clear. Wherever Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce choose to get married, it will be treated like a global event. And if by any chance they do decide to say yes to Robert Irwin's offer, you can bet that wedding at Australia Zoo would go down as one of the most unique, talked-about celebrity ceremonies we've seen in a long time. Until then, all eyes are on June 13, 2026, and all ears are listening for any hint from Taylor, Travis, or maybe even Robert that